Black Wolf. The scouts report activity uncharacteristic of lupine behavior. The breach and resulting rifts have caused unprecedented disruptions in the Vale. Such alterations to the environment may account for the unnatural aggression. If this is indeed the case, I cannot yet say how widespread the impact. How many wolves does this environmental imbalance influence? What threat do they pose to resistant members of the pack? To the local population? This warrants further investigation. Report submitted to Seeker Pentagast by Minave, Mage Apprentice of the Inquisition Researcher. So this showed up because I kept researching more and more, like turning in items that you get from researching Black Wolves, and we got an updated codex from that. And that's a very Where the Wild Things Are almost looking drawing of a wolf. Well, I was originally going to save it for later, but I guess if they're going to teleport me back into town, I may as well talk to Vivian about the outcome of what we've done.
I expected ruins.
They were. As you see, the Inquisition has not been idle.
Would it be possible to meet the Herald before we return to Ghislaine?
My dear Laurent, for you, anything. Allow me to present Inquisitor Adar.
Your worship, you do us great honor.
Inquisitor, this is my dear Bastien's sister, Grand Cleric Marceline, and his son, Duke Laurent of the Council of Heralds.
Madame de Fer has told us what great trials you faced, trying to save my poor brother's life.
The Maker called my father to his side. It was valiant of you to champion him in his final hours.
If only I'd been able to save Bastien.
The Circle of Magi told Bastien many years ago that his illness was incurable. It was simply his time.
Would you mind waiting for me in the chapel, my dears? The Inquisitor and I have business to discuss.
It has been our very great pleasure, Herald.
This has been quite the triumph, hasn't it? They just adore you.
Duke Bastien's family seem quite pleasant.
Ordinarily, I would have warned you that Marceline has the temper of a hungry vulture, but she's quite taken with you. Laurent is a dear, almost as pious as his aunt, and new to a seat of great power in the Empire. And Marceline is one of the strongest voices among the Grand Clerics. Now they will both come to us for advice. The Inquisition is truly a power now, and there's no telling how far its influence will reach. But enough of this talk. Here, I have something for you. I commissioned this ring from the Formari, the greatest enchanters in all Thedas, for you.
This is a generous gift. Thank you, Vivienne.
Once it was customary for the circles to craft enchantments for their staunchest friends and allies. And you have been both. I must go to see my guests now. Another time, darling.
Huh. That was actually a bit of a surprise. I was kind of, like, it was framed as being a result of me finding some books out in the wilderness, because it's like, oh, find these books. All right, now go talk to Vivienne. But it was actually more of a follow-up to the whole Vivienne storyline of trying to cure Bastien. I guess I would probably assume at this point that maybe you have to complete both Vivienne quests in conjunction, and then as a result you unlock this meeting where it's like you've both completed this quest for Vivienne and you've dealt with Bastien, because it definitely triggered after finding that book in the middle of nowhere, but was all about Bastien, so you must have required both. Still, though, slightly disappointing that the culmination was basically just, oh, here's a political meeting as a reward. Yeah, your reward is that you get more influence. Isn't that exciting? I mean, maybe. So, favors the first enchanter. And Heraldry for the Herald. Right. That's the issue that we've made progress with Josephine's family crest. We'll get back to that in a second. But really quick here. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, first of all, didn't they say that? I think they said they made a ring for me real quick. So Let's take a look at accessories and see if there's a brand new ring. Caltrops, that wasn't that. Throwing blades, no. Was it the critical damage one? No, I think that might have just been sitting here all this time. I thought they said ring. Maybe it's not an actual item? Maybe it's just a general story token. Anyway, it says the favors of the first enchanter are still there, so that must have just been a random trigger for talking to Vivian again, and I still haven't actually completed the quest I thought I was doing. That makes a little bit more sense.
Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
Your lost books have been found.
My dear, you are a treasure.
Success! Alright, so Vivian greatly approves. That means it was an opportunity to get more approval with her, but wow. The dialogue was literally like, oh, what can I do for you? I did that thing you wanted. Thanks! That was all the dialogue we got?
My dear, did you need me for something?
Is there nothing... any chance we might... No. I'm not trying to romance Vivian right now. And if we want to do extended dialogue trees about her backstory and stuff like that, I don't think now's quite the time, but maybe some other time. Alright, yeah. That didn't amount to much, did it? Well, while we were dealing with Dorian and Vivian, it looks like all three of our agents came back in, so might as well clean up, strike a bargain with the merchant princes. A bundle of documents, at least 50 pages thick, explains the trade agreement with the Inquisition. The trade agreement the Inquisition has entered into with the merchant princes of Antiva. Josephine has attached a note. Inquisitor, I am more than satisfied with the agreement we reached with the merchant princes. Here is a duplicate if you wish to review it. I will put aside 3 days and 24 candles. Ambassador Montliet. That is quite the time investment. I probably won't read that. Really? So we have an incredibly long treaty with the merchant princes, and all this crazy work has gone into it. My reward is 30 influence, which is like the bare minimum for a war table mission, basically, and not even 100 gold. You kind of expect that chain to lead to an incredibly lucrative amount of money or something. Doing a quick scan here. Oh yeah, look at this. This entire map. This entire side of the map. No war table missions. You guys might stop seeing the war table soon. Which, you know, wouldn't be terrible. It'll streamline our episodes a little bit for sure if we finish it. But still, a bit more left in Orlais, even if Ferelden is done. For now, at least. I'm sure we'll do more things that will trigger more additional things in Ferelden. Regal? What is that? I don't even know what that means. Oh wait, oh no, I forgot. It always has to sync with PSN. Why can't you just tell me I'm just quitting out. Why can't you just tell me my trophies? I understand the syncing process is necessary for online services and everything, but just let me look at it regardless. Alright, so we got an accessory. That's just basic, that's just some basic, stuff, repeatables. I usually don't get into those. Although interesting, but I got an achievement for it. Maybe I got it because maybe I got a new accessory for the Skyhold, I guess, because it was a Qunari bench. Find the old Montelier family crest. Dear Inquisitor, I had no idea the Herald of Andraste was a fellow collector. I have made your wishes known to the most reputable shops in Val Royale. If Lady Montliet's old family crest is to be found anywhere, they are the ones to divine its whereabouts. May you have the best of luck. If there are any objects in your possession you may wish to part with, do not hesitate to write me again. I have a wonderful collection of Storm Age Reviani marriage seals coming in this winter, and I'd be delighted to discuss their history should you ever find yourself in Ghislaine. Humbly yours, Marquis Pelantais. So it looks like we didn't finish it. We're probably going to get a new quest. Is there a new one showing up around here? Oh. Truth or Dare, the end game. I should probably do that right now, because that one doesn't have a marker over it, which makes it harder to notice it in the future. But is there a new quest around here? Support Navarra, Watcher of the Wings, Collector of Magi. I know Watcher of the Wings is a new mission. Okay, so no immediate follow-up with Josephine, so maybe I have to go talk to her in person. But let's do this Truth or Dare mission, because I don't want to forget that it's here and unmarked. Ambassador Montliet. We have never met, but I believe you have, through discreet means, saved me from a most disagreeable connection. As I dislike being indebted to anyone, I shall endeavor to repay you with a news item of some interest. Were you aware that the Grand Duchess of Leeds recently paid a visit to Lake Celestine? Indeed, she stayed an entire fortnight as a guest of Duke Alvin Blanchard of Val Montgain. In light of her other connections, and the curious amount of coin which spread across the region in the aftermath, you may wish to pay him a call. Sincerely, Duke Valier Fontaine. So the question here is, do we want to deal with Liliana or Josephine for the mission that is directed at Josephine specifically? Liliana, send our agents in. We can expose this connection to Florane for all the world to see. Josephine, if Duke Blanchard was conspiring with Florane, the Imperial Court would like to know. So, do we want to expose it with, do we want to talk to the court, or do we want to expose it to everybody with Liliana? Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! I mean, yeah, we could just do it, just a blanket attack, or we could, if we do this, we'll probably gain favor with the Imperial Court, and as established before, they're biased against me for being a Qunari, and I didn't exactly max things out, so getting a little favor with the Imperial Court from a storytelling perspective, probably the right move to make. So we'll send Josephine in for a usual diplomatic result for her many diplomatic missions. Interestingly, the background involves Vivian. I wonder if it started out as a Vivian quest, and I may have just forgotten that.
At your service.
Have fun, Josephine. Alright, so what do we have left? Watcher in the Wings, support for now. Let's look at Watcher in the Wings. I'm curious about this one. It came up recently. My Lord Inquisitor, as you know, the remaining clerics have sequestered themselves in the Grand Cathedral in hopes of electing our new divine. One would hope this could be done peacefully, but my sisters inform me that there have already been 2 mysterious deaths, the product of an assassin loose within the Grand Cathedral's halls. The Chantry has failed. First of all, just saying that there's an assassin loose makes me think, oh, we'll send Liliana to track him down. Sounds like her spies would be able to find an assassin. The product of an assassin loose within the Grand Cathedral's halls. The Chantry has failed to find this killer, so I turn to you for aid. Please help my sisters complete their thankless task in peace. The Inquisition is the only force in Orlais with the power to deal with this, and both myself and my sisters would be grateful. Yours in faith, revered Mother Giselle. Oh, wow, Josephine can't do this one, so good thing that I was already sending her somewhere else. Liliana, I suggest sending my agents to the Grand Cathedral to root out this assassin before more damage is done. Bolster the Grand Cathedral with our forces enough to hunt down this madman should be enough. If there's anything I learned from Assassin's Creed, just adding more guards doesn't necessarily help the problem of having an assassin loose, so just like I supposed halfway through reading it, just seems logical to send Liliana and her spies / assassins in to deal with an assassin. They'll know how to find him.
Let's see what we have.
They just seem like the experienced types. And, whatever. Let's freaking send in Colin again to do some bullshit. Have fun, Colin. I just don't feel confident clicking on any missions when Colin's my only person to look at. Wow, so look at this. There might be follow-ups for some of the quests that I'm doing right now, but right off the bat we're seeing there's only 2 things that are shining right up there, besides these 2 down here that are whole new areas I've never been to yet. Because holy shit, this game's massive and there's still areas to check out. But yeah, I suspect that if I was playing this game on my personal time and binge playing it all the time, basically, it might have been hard to complete all the war table missions, but because I'm doing it in Let's Play fashion and recording and editing and it spaces things out a bit, I think it's actually made me complete the war table stuff slightly faster than even than they would expect to, because I still have actual areas to go to and I might be running out of missions altogether, although I suspect as I go to these 2 areas that new war table missions will show up at those locations as a result, because that seems to always happen. So we'll see what happens, but all of the loose ends remaining before that seem to be wrapping up. As you can see, as a result of the quest that we did, Dorian's tarot card has now been updated to his post, what are we going to call it, like post-revelation card, because they always seem to change midway through as we progress. Well, I think almost all of them have changed at this point. There's just a couple that haven't done much yet. So, we're making some good progress here if they're all changing over time, that's for sure. The Montilier family crest. Bye. There we go. So, present the crest to Josephine and Skyhold. So here we are, it's right here next to Barnabas, right here in the middle of town. I spared you guys the trouble of me wandering around in circles trying to figure out who the hell had it, because there's a number of shops to check around here. Royal Rest of Orlais. A plaque reads, "Here at the heart of the bazaar, we offered the finest artisanal pieces for the boudoir." Both shop and museum, our merchandise is modeled on the tastes of our most glorious rulers of the past. Rest well, compatriots. Rest, nation Orlais. That sounds like a really pretentious, slogan for an Orlesian bed company. Probably is. Oh god. I found a vendor who sells what appear to be old codex entries that I missed out in the field and are in various zones that I probably can't access anymore, such as the ones from Haven and Redcliffe Castle and Temple of Mythal. A bunch of story areas I probably can't ever go to again. Okay. I'm definitely gonna want to get some of these, and I suppose it's likely I'll be reading some of these in future episodes. So that'll be what more of those random cutaways are, in addition to the ones that I'm already doing. Alrighty, Josephine, we've successfully reacquired your crest.
Why, what's this?
You said you wanted to see your original family crest? I found one for you.
I'm astonished. I'd given up hope that any example of the early family crest still existed. It even has our first motto, back from when we had a trading fleet to speak of. From sea to shore, we tame the waves.
Anything to see you smile.
You've certainly succeeded. Thank you.
Alright, heraldry from a herald, successful. Oh, I get it, because I'm the Herald of Andraste. That's actually kind of funny. So, that took a lot of work. Does that maybe... I mean, we had a short dialogue about it, but does that spark more conversations afterwards?
Yes.
Maybe? No? Okay.
Later.
Goodbye.
I keep expecting more to happen, but I guess not. Elf fruit. Slightly nostalgic to find that, huh? Yeah, so I got a little distracted and sidetracked when Dorian's mission teleported me right back back into town in Skyhold, and then I had a few other things to take care of from there. But we're back on our original goal of doing the 3 mage quests in the area. We did Vivian, we did Dorian, and now the last one is Solus. What lies dormant? Solus has located a powerful rift in the hinterlands that has not yet opened. He believes it to be unique and well worth investigating. Find the powerful rift. So the question is, are we going to get important research information by checking out this rift? Switch to Solus since he's the applicable character, I suppose. He also just looks really dashing in his awesome robe that I got him. It was the hiccup. I think it's the keeper robes, I believe, or something similar. So... is this going to be an important research opportunity, or is this going to be a thing where it's like, oh, it's a giant rift that hasn't opened yet? Oh, we'll see. I wonder what's going to happen. Psych, it opened! Looks like it's going to be in a cave I've explored in the past. Just for funsies, let's have everyone light a torch. I do find it kind of amusing that you can do this. I think of it as a mage thing, because mages have to light it, but everyone can grab one, and then you have the situation where everyone has a nice torch. And frankly, that makes sense. Everyone should have a light source as you enter this dark cave. It's a reasonable approach. It'd be a little more ominous if there wasn't an idiot goat thing running around like a jackass. But, this is definitely a place to explore. I think I've been in here before. Oh, nope, I guess not. There's just a mosaic sitting around. Alright, 10 out of 12. We're getting pretty close on this one, the Fall. The Hinterlands mosaic. So what's going to happen as we enter this deep... Oh. Are you sure it hasn't opened yet? What lies dormant? Close the rift. I'm going to say you may have been wrong about it having not opened yet. Or maybe it's just happening to open now. Oh, that's interesting. Are we under attack? Oh, we're under attack. Okay. Oh, hello. Hello, Pride Demon. We haven't seen one of you in a long time. Not since I explored the, was it the wastes? The hissing wastes, I believe. So we're about to get in a fight. I was going to try to light more torches, but I guess not. So upstairs, torches were lit, but down here they're not. My assumption there is, I think that we must have first of all, let's have the entire party focus exclusively on the Rage Demon to start with. That seems like a reasonable approach. I feel like Solus can try to draw everyone to a local group. That makes sense. And Vivian can start off by bubbling the party, since she's our bubble lord. Oops, accidentally switched to immolate. I get the feeling since those upstairs ones were lit up and these ones down here weren't, I think I must have entered the beginning of this cave before, but then couldn't proceed deeper, or maybe just didn't want to proceed deeper because I may have thought it was going to take me somewhere I didn't want to go. And then last but not least, we can, oh right, we can do we have Dorian here too. Dorian can spirit mark, I believe. He can spirit mark this guy, or which one's which triangle? Horror. Okay. No, we want him to let's have him spirit mark the Rage Demon. So we're gonna try to wipe out the Rage Demon really quick, and then he's probably gonna become a necromancer target, and from there, I suppose we'll have assistance while we're fighting the Pride Demon, and maybe this will be the only wave. Maybe it won't. I don't know. It'd be weird to have multiple waves of Pride Demons, but I think it's happened before. Might as well get it started. I understand I may have delayed a little too much, but you know, things happen. I was having a moment. Alright, so Rage Demon has barrier. And now he doesn't. Oh my god, he's in my face. Well, you know what's... yeah, that's right. You're probably weak against ice, huh? Do some AoE weakening. Everything I can to make things weak. Sorry if you're getting a little echo on the TV. I realize I'm in the middle of a fight, so I don't really want to deal with it right now, but it's a little louder than I meant for it to be. I have a thing where I turn up volume during extended conversation periods, but turn it down for combat. And I forgot. Alright, so success. Rage Demon has been marked and is now assisting us against the Pride Demon, making him all the easier. I'm just going to keep spamming my various weakening abilities against him, just to make him take damage faster and deal less damage, making us all the more secure in our fight against him. He's down. Maybe I'll light up a bit, but oh my god, this is a powerful rift. This might be the most powerful rift in the entire game, judging by how little the meter went down. So what's going to come next? Jesus Christ, I've made a mistake. I should have been ready with my mages to immediately dispel some of these rift locations. So, Rage Demon, Wraith, Pride Demon, Wraith, level 19, and it's purple. That might just be because it's casting something, or maybe it has special effects. Immunity to physical and poison. Immunity to physical poison and, oh, resistant to electricity. Oh, there's a lot of wraiths. We're gonna have to target these assholes. Let's say everyone target this guy. Oops. Everyone focus on this guy, I think is a good starting point. We're gonna want to take out the wraiths as quickly as possible because they are genuinely dangerous. So this one could hurt. But the good news is we have a full party of mages, so our ability to recover from death and damage is relatively high. And now that I've established my party as being in the middle of the area, we'll be much more capable of dealing. So let's see. I suppose a reasonable thing might be to have the party. Should the party focus on the Rage Demon? Where is the Rage Demon? Oh, there he is. Let's have the party focus on the Rage Demon, because the Rage Demon's the most vulnerable dying first. I'm gonna have the Vivian on a Wraith duty, because the Vivian can wipe out the enemy shields pretty quickly. Oh! Some people are in danger. Thankfully, I can pretty easily do an AoE barrier. There we go. Get a lot of people safe. We have enough barriers that most people should be relatively safe, and even when Vasti's about to go down, not only can 3 different people barrier Vasti, and if he goes down, even have a chance to, even if he goes down, these people can revive Vasti. But Vasti also has this ridiculous champion ability where if he's about to die, he'll actually not die for like the next 5 seconds. Because the moment he's about to die, he basically becomes temporarily invincible, which is very handy for your tank. So this could be a tough fight, but it looks like we're doing fine. Oh, that's it. Aww. That was a little bit of a bummer. Oh well, let's close it up. When I saw how little it moved at first, I thought, oh god, we're gonna have multiple waves. And I was looking forward to positioning myself to try to close multiple, dispel a whole bunch of barrier locations all at once. Alright, so what lies dormant is quest completed. That's it? Aww. Okay, fine. Well, let's do a quick look around. I was hoping that there'd be at least an immediate follow-up on dialogue. Oh, there's a rune. We'll definitely want to grab... Let's light the torches upstairs. Frankly, it would just be nice to have the party be able to see better around here as we explore. I did get a kick out of being able to, I got a kick out of being able to light the torches in between the demon waves. But yeah, I was hoping there was going to be a third massive wave, because once I had all my mages in the room, we could have dispelled the entire... It would have been really funny to be like, oh yeah, here comes the biggest wave you've ever seen in any game ever. That's scary, right? Blammo! Triple dispel. Literally no one comes out of the wave. The end. I have yet to have the opportunity to have 3 mages fight a rift at once and actually dispel and potentially dispel the entire wave altogether. A little cheap, but I also think it'd be amusing enough to make up for it. So I might as well just explore the room, see what kind of cool stuff we can find. Check the other side, since these awkward balconies can't be done in a circular motion. Nope. Alright. We'll skim the room to see what else we can find, besides that rune that I know I'm going to find on the other side of the room. Over here. Oh, it's a fire mine. Master Frost rune. Alright. So we have multiple master runes now that we can craft. And I think that's going to wrap things up, I suppose. I might check in to talk to Solus in town to see if it triggers anything new. But because this was triggered by a relatively innocuous war table mission where it's like, I'm measuring the veil. Like we did this happened because we did a whole bunch of we kept running around the overworld of various locations and triggering those little elven relics that help strengthen the veil in the area. And then one day Solus finally was like, oh, well, I found a special thing. And then you do a war table mission, and then you just come here and close it. So there's a good chance you won't have much to say about it. But hey, that was neato. Definitely a big rift encounter. And the fact that it went by so quickly kind of shows just how trivial rifts have become. Like, I remember when we first got to the hinterlands, there was rifts that I was actually like, oh shit, I don't know if I can do this right now. I'm gonna come back later. And like that was a thing that happened multiple times early on. And now, funnily enough, like something that looks like it should have been the hardest rift in the entire game was kind of just, I got it. I got this, brah. That is one thing. Is the I love the story element of this. Like, I love all the side quests in this game and all the massive areas to explore. Kind of wish the I wouldn't have. I don't know. I don't think I'd really mind if the rift thing died down after a while, because once you close the breach, it's supposed to be a little bit less of a danger. But you go to places like Hissing Waste, and there's like dozens of rifts, and to some extent, just the sheer number of rifts I still have to close. I think you have to close. I think there's more rifts in the post-breach world than there are in the pre-breach world as far as the regions you can explore. And to some extent, it's just the sheer repetition kind of sets in. We're like, all right, I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight some wraiths. Here's a despair demon. Here's a rage demon. Here's some summons I can dispel. All right, now I'm closing the rift. Like the fact that there's like an actual achievement for closing like 100 rifts or killing 1,000 demons or something crazy like that. At some point, you might want it might be good for a developer to be like, maybe we're putting a few too many of these in. Like maybe when this place has 17 rifts after they've closed their breach, maybe we went a little overboard. But anyway, that's just a little bit of my take on it anyway.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. I've just received the most terrible news.
What is it?
I'm engaged.
I sense this is complicated. Tell me more.
For the past year, my mother and father have searched Antiva for a match for me. They had no idea you and I had grown so close. Today, I received a letter declaring they've betrothed me to Lord Adorno Cielo Tranto of Antiva. I must deal with this. But until then, we cannot be seen in a compromising situation. I'm so sorry.
Are you saying we should act like nothing has happened between us?
No, not at all. But it is not right that we carry on while I am betrothed. I must break off the match first.
I assume your parents have political alliances resting on this engagement.
For once, that is something quite far from my mind. Oh, this is not what I wanted to happen. I barely remember Lord Otranto. I must see to this. And to my other duties. If I can keep my mind on them today at all.
Well, I suppose there we go. I've had multiple instances where I'm like, okay, I feel like this relationship's supposed to have like a next stage where something happens, because it just feels like a dead end, and well, this is certainly something happening. Alrighty, Solus, so we closed your big bad rift. You have do you have anything to add?
Good afternoon.
Nothing. Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I kind of figured. Legend of the Three Sisters, Book 3. As with the stop in the White Rose, the individual tales of the Three Sisters are often told on their own. Seldom is the saga repeated in its entirety. Indeed, one of the few times an attempt to do so was as a play in the Grand Royal Theatre that sharply criticized Divine Justinia's attempts to reform. The play was quickly banned after only 3 performances. A book titled The Three Brothers was later published in Maranthus, citing the exploits of the 3 Tevinter brothers who find themselves lost in Val Royale and spend their time ridiculing Orlesian culture. Despite claims in Tevinter that it is the original, it's quite clear that the Three Sisters legend far predates it. Throughout the legend's various incarnations, the most commonly depicted adventures include the sisters are convinced to drink dwarven ale by a handsome nobleman with sinister intentions. Their reactions to the ale vary, but usually by the end of this tale, the sisters end up on a wild chase after the nobleman through the streets of the Bell March until he jumps into the river and drowns. The 3 sisters ask for help from a group of dwarven merchants, who say they will do so only if the sisters solve a clever riddle. The nature of the riddle varies, but the dwarves always cheat the sisters in the end. Typically, the encounter ends with the sisters fleeing before they are sold into slavery, though sometimes the legend has them clubbing the lead dwarf to death with paddles until the other dwarves run off. They are drawn into the annual Saturnalia parade, usually in the climax of the story, until the Imperial army descends upon the revelers and starts a chaotic chain reaction that results in the sisters either stowing aboard a pirate ship or wading through the elven alienage's sewers. It seems to change each age. Once their chaperone, La Bête, catches up with the girls, they usually hang their heads in shame and return to the Montbéliard manse to resume good and honest lives. Not always, however. The most recent versions of the legend have the sisters remaining in Val Royale to fight criminals while wearing black masks, though I honestly cannot tell where this comes from. From Tales from Val Royale by Lord Werner Joachim. I get a kick out of the fact that apparently we've already established the fact that Divine Justinia and everything, like the divine in Herald the divine for all of us in this whole area, basically, for Andrastans is female, and the divine for the Tevinters is male. So I get a kick out of the fact that they're cheap knockoff 3 brothers. It's like they take the 3 sisters and like, now they're boys. Now we have our own version. Ha ha ha. It's like a bootleg version of the 3 sisters.